welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I am working on Christmas in August and Mixed Media Mayhem. I'm going to combine these two hops to get one hopefully beautiful layout accomplished for these hops. And I have pulled out my Hip Kit Club Christmas kits. If you will recall, I have combine the last 3 years worth of their Christmas kits into one large kit to use them up. I am down, after I finish this layout and cut into this piece of pattern paper, I will be down to only one full sheet of pattern paper left out of the 3 kits, but a ton of embellishments and a few scraps. I'm going to be using this piece of pattern paper as well as this beautiful piece of pattern paper, and then these are the packaging from a couple of the collection, some of the stickers or outfit things. I'm going to use those for layering as well. The sketch or the inspiration layout that we are using is from Missy Whitten, and I'm going to put that up here in the corner for you so that you can see what she did. Her layout is not a Christmas layout. She used a cut file and did some mixed media with it. I cut this with my silhouette, my cameo, and I'm going to try to mimic what she did with hers on that. I may end up having to cut it in half so that I can spread it down. We'll see. I picked up some die cuts, some clear stickers, some enamel dots, some alphas, some star stickers, and a few other, these are puffy stickers as well. There's a set of stamps because she had some what looked like embossed leaves on hers, and so I thought I might try to use these and do the embossing with those. These are brand new. They were a gift from a friend, and so I thought it was time to actually use them. I do have quite a little bit of a mess here. Here are some of the die cuts that I pulled to dig through, as well as all these little bitty tiny star die cuts that I thought I might also try to use. It will be a lot easier to handle if I do this though. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to get my stuff out for mixed media, and we're gonna get started on this layout. I'll be right back. So I'm going to start with this very old, I think it's called Plain Jane's ink. It's a pinkish color, and I'm a little leery of it because I really don't want a hot pink blood dripping on my layout, but all in all it does turn out okay. This is a much more color saturated spray than what I usually use for the packaging technique, and I'm having to water it down a lot more than I expected, and I'm not getting the pretty little splatters that I normally get if I use like a Distress Oxide or a Distress ink or even the sprays. So I'm going to bring in this paintbrush and just kind of move this ink around a little bit more. I know I keep adding water, but as I said, it is just a very saturated color. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it wasn't quite what I was looking for this background, but in the end, I do like what I come up with, and a lot of the splotchiness gets covered up with my other elements of the layout anyway. So next, I'm going to bring one of my Prima in Bloom sprays. And at first, I tried to spray it directly on the layout, and it's not working. These sprays are really pretty when they work. Even brand new, they don't work well from the sprayer. It turns out with this one, I actually had a little clip on it, and I hadn't removed it, and so the sprayer wouldn't work. But a lot of times the mica in these Prima in Bloom sprays clog up the nozzle, and you can never spray them anyway. So while I got it to work spraying this time, and it may not work next time. But anyway, I also put in some splatters, and as you saw, I had a kitty cat walk right across my space. He did step right into that ink, and I had to clean the floor after he was done. So my next step, while I'm waiting for my background to dry, is I'm going to get some ink on this wreath that I cut with my Cameo, and all I did was just spray the Prima Color and Bloom spray onto my glass mat, add a little water, and I'm just tapping it on there until I get enough color to my satisfaction on it. I am going to put it on a craft mat to dry so it doesn't stick. Alright, next step, I'm going to do some heat embossing on this background. So first I am going to use my powder tool to pat around the areas that I know I'm going to stamp and heat emboss so that any stray bits don't stick where I don't want them to. I think that would have actually been okay on this to have some gold flakes sticking here and there, but I went ahead and used the powder tool anyway. Now I am stamping with Versamark ink, and this is my go-to embossing ink to heat emboss. I have always liked how Versamark sticks when I use embossing powder. I know that Tim Holtz has an embossing ink as well, and I'm sure it's good, as all of his products typically are, but I don't have it. I have this one, and so this is just what I'm using to stamp these images. Next, I will go ahead and use my Brutus Monroe, I think it's just gold, embossing powder, and I'm just going to pour it all over the background and then tap off the excess into my little embossing tray. I do have to add a little bit more here and there because I missed some places, and then I will scooch that embossing powder back into its container to be used another time. So of course the next step is to get out my heat tool, and I just have a standard heat tool. I don't remember the brand name, but it's nothing super special and it does the job. I love to watch embossing powder magically turn into this shiny goodness that it does. It just makes my heart happy to watch it. I really should do more heat embossing on my layouts, but I love how this turned out. It is just a simple way to add gold and shiny bits and texture to a background. So my next step is to add some gold splatters, and I do have gold sprays that I could do that with, but to be honest with you, I really prefer these metallic watercolors by Prima. It's a lot more saturated. There's more, it just, to me, it stands out better than any of the gold sprays that I have in my stash. Okay, so off camera, I had to add another gold embossing stamped image because when I put all of the layers from my pattern paper on, it covered up this one, so you're not even going to see that one. But I wanted to make sure that I did have 3 poking out. Also, as I just mentioned, I went ahead and I layered up the pattern paper layered the pattern paper up underneath my photo, and I did some white pen stitching around the edges of the photo as well. So this is a piece of light gray cardstock pattern paper. This is a piece of one of the packaging, and this is another piece of pattern paper. I put it all on foam adhesive, and now I'm getting ready to go ahead and build my layout. So first, I'm going to stick placement here, and then I'm going to speed up the video and get started. So I did go ahead and cut my cut file in half. I did that off camera because I tried to layer it up underneath that photo without cutting it in half, and I saw that it was just not large enough. So I'm going to go ahead and just start laying things out. First thing I'm going to do is lay my title onto my photo mat, and then I'm going to take that little clear sticker that says "This brings joy." Originally the phrase says "This brings us joy." The Christmas village that I put up every year actually is mine, and I don't really think my kids care one way or the other, but it does bring me joy. So I went ahead and cut out the word us, and now it just says "This brings so much joy." Now I'm going to add some of the poinsettia flowers on here. I'm going to be layering these up, and initially I thought I might have to use some foam adhesive to pop up some of them, but with my photo mat being so thick, and I believe I put foam adhesive on the back of it, I don't need the foam on the flowers, and that works out really well. Now Missy had some journal lines on her layout, and I'm going to go ahead and use this stamp. It is a close to my heart stamp. It's from a stamp set that I don't even think I have anymore. I use that stamp like crazy, enough that I never actually wash it unless I use a different color, because I just typically go ahead and stamp in black. So now I have a place for my journaling. I have the 3 little phrases above my journaling. I have a title. I have some embellishments. And so now I'm going to go ahead and add these little flowers and enamel dots going off that right edge of my layout. And now I'm going to add some more of the dots. They're actually puffy stickers. They're not enamel. Same difference though, the same type of embellishment. So because they're puffy stickers, I will have to add adhesive off camera to the backs of them, otherwise they won't stay. All right, I have everything glued down. I did use my tacky glue by Scotch to glue everything down. I only tacked my cut file down underneath the photo and then in one little place right here. I had considered putting some foam adhesive on these, but the photo mat itself holds them up very well. I put a phrase here as a nod to Missy's little phrase that she had on her photo mat. She had beautiful butterflies trailing off a corner on that side. My layout is a Christmas layout, so I didn't do that. These are flower stickers that came from that Hip Kit Christmas kits that I have all bundled together, as well as the gold. They're puffy dots. They're not enamel dots. Same with the black ones. They are puffy dots. I had to glue each of those down because the adhesive on them does not stay well. Added my title, put the 3 phrases on, wrote my journaling, and that pretty much finishes the layout. The very last thing that I would like to do is to put some white splatters on here. So I'm going to cut a piece of packaging down a little bit, place over my photo so that I don't get any on my photo. This is a photo that I don't want to cover with white splatters. Sometimes I don't mind, but this time I do. This is Delusion's White Linen Ink Spray. To me, this is the best white spray on the market, and I adore it. I adore it. And so I'm just going to add some white splatters here and just give it a little bit more texture and pop. And then that's going to be it for this layout. I want to thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who like, comment, and or subscribe. If you have any comments or questions about this layout or any techniques that I might have used on this layout, just drop them below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.